Hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like,
You all Kanye West is out here saying a hi to Miss Kim Kardashian, trying to take her down for real this time, and it goes way beyond dragging on social media, because he is throwing her into a messy case with the fetch right beside her former BFF Diddy. Now, for a long time, people have suspected that Kim allegedly knew something about Diddy's alleged crimes, at least more than she was letting on, because she was moving real shady once the feds started sniffing around. But according to Kanye's account, not only did Kim allegedly know, but she also allegedly took part in Diddy's shady businesses, because she was allegedly helping him launder his dirty money and silencing his victims while taking out a nice little cut for her troubles. And if that's not messy enough, Kanye also revealed how Kim Diddy and Lou Taylor allegedly plotted to put celebs under a conservatorship and steal their money, y'all, with a ton of tea to spill. Kanye didn't hold back. He ain't holding nothing back. Yeah, she's a gold digger way over town that ain't good.
Look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount, right? And I refused to take this, right? You understand that if I had taken the medication, I would not be here, and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music, though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears you. I mean, look at
they would have Michael Jackson
or worse, yeah. So look at what they did. Look at what they did to Britney. When she went in, she was tired, she was exhausted, she was in a bad way. But 10 years of that medication wrecked her brain.
Kanye West is back on Kim's tail and tubbing her for filth once more. Now this is nothing new, because there was a time he used to call her out on social media every 3 to 4 business days, talking about how she was a bad mom and was fast in these streets and all types of stuff. But this time he isn't accusing her of being a bad mom or nothing like that, because now he's accusing her of criminal activity, claiming that she allegedly helped Diddy launder money. So it looked like Diddy was about to be brought up on some money laundering charges, as well as everything else he had going on with the feds, and 2024 is definitely going to be the year that Diddy went down. Now, the thought of Kim Kardashian, a billionaire, getting involved in some money laundering might sound crazy, but y'all will be shook if you found out the crazy things that rich people do for money. In this case of Kim, she has a long and verified track record of making shady deals for money. Y'all, she was even investigated and interrogated by the FBI for being tied to money laundering in the past. So y'all know that Kim has been running the streets for a long time. She ain't no to this, she true to this. So when you think about Kardashian sisters and their history, Kim's got her big reputation for being shady, right? I mean, this goes back even before she was in the limelight. You probably know she did a stint as a closet assistant for celebs like Paris Hilton and Brandy. But here's the kicker, there's a lesser-known story about her pulling off a heist from Bry's mom back in the day. Kim was sorting out Bry's closet, and somehow she got her hand on Bry's mom's credit card info. Very sneaky, right? So what? So Chloe and Rob made the decision to move after Kim finished her closet tasks. As she, taking $120,000 from Bribery's mother's account, she received this. Though Kim had quit working for Brandy long before this, she clung to those credit card details like they were gold. After waiting for what they believed to be clear sailing, it launched themselves. Today, you would think that taking that much money would cause a wild spending binge, but these guys chose to keep it in the family rather than blowing it on expensive automobiles or far-off vacations. In a sense, in other words, they blasted it through their own outlets. The secret is out as Dash and Smooch discuss maintaining their relationship inside the Kardashian circle. Killer. By directing that stolen money into their clothing store, Kim and her group believed they were being cunning. They basically laundered this money, trying to pass it off as legitimate income. But surprise, 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 they were caught. It sprang open. This is where it gets interesting. As it happens, those transactions were about as illegal as they got. Delicious. Mom to Bri, she's got a heart, she gave Kim the chance to make things right, probably because of her friendship with Kim Tis to Brandy and Ray J. But when Kim and the gang refused to cough up that money for over a year, she had no choice but to bring in the big guns, the law, with the whole lawsuit. But Brandy and Ray J convinced their mom to drop the lawsuit and handle things off the record. According to Ray J, this whole ordeal was the final nail in the coffin for their relationship. Years later, Ray J revealed that this is the real reason why he dumped Kim, saying, "Apart from this stealing money from my family, we would probably still be together now, but when that happened, I said I don't." It turns out, though, that may have been a money laundering operation, because Ja was later found to be a part of a larger laundering operation. Insider wrote, international authorities are seeking Lowe in relation to the multi-billion-dollar money laundering fraud. He is alleged to have been the brains behind a plan to embezzle $4.5 billion from the state-run Economic Development Fund in Malaysia, which took home the development Berhad in 2019. The FBI questioned Kim about her relationship with Jewel L, but they were unable to establish anything against her, hence she was not charged. Kim was looked at by federal officials before, though. In 2012, the SEC looked into her because she promoted the cryptocurrency Ethereum. Mex, without putting in a disclaimer to indicate that it was a sponsored advertisement and that she had received payment for it by advertising without disclosing it as such. She was able to locate $1.26 million by participating in a pump and dump scam meant to drive up the price of the cryptocurrency before it was sold to investors. But as it happens, Kim isn't the only Kardashian with a penchant for dubious business. Mother of all time Kris Jenner is up to something. The California Community Church is a name you may have heard. Yes, and this is the really interesting part. Kris Jenner co-founded the church in 2009. Although Kris established it as a nonprofit, which sounds all wonderful and warm and cuddly, membership required a monthly payment of $10,000. Not to mention that lovely 10% TI that they were, of course, pushing. It's true, 10% of your yearly salary and $11,000 per month. But who is driving that? The Kardashians, of course. So let's have some numbers crunched. Kim's earning roughly $80 million a year, so that TI alone puts her in the $8 million tax bracket. Considering Kris is the church's brains, there's more, so not too bad. If the vehicle Jenner's tossing of that 10% into the collection plate doesn't scream shady, I don't know what does. It's like a money merry-go-round they gave her, and somehow they wind up with the huge tax savings. The fascinating thing about this is that, even though they were married for years and he was certain that Kim was the love of his life, Kanye had his doubts about her actions and went to tremendous measures to keep his funds totally separate from hers. She was going to get busted eventually, he knew, and he had no interest in being involved. People magazine was told by a source that they maintain essentially separate accounts. Wes and I will discuss money. In addition to all of this, Kanye is saying that Kim has been laundering money for Diddy all along. Diddy and Kim are longtime friends. She even followed him for years on Instagram. Then suddenly she unfollows him.
Hours before the raid, Kim Kardashian decides to unfollow Diddy, right? Well, come to find out, this person by the name of Lou Taylor is apparently Diddy's manager. And this Lou Taylor woman is also on the board of Hillsong's church home. Follow me, go with me. They are doing all of this, y'all, in the name of the Lord. Just follow the story. Now, to cover myself, everything in this video is alleged, honey. This is what I digged up, and I don't know how much truth is to it, but there's reportings, okay? So everything that I'm saying is allegedly. Keep that in mind. So, Lou Taylor apparently is paying off, allegedly, some of Diddy's victims from this slush fund through some church fund, okay? Not only that, Kim Kardashian mama has been making these girls pay 10% tithes to some church that Lou Taylor and her husband is basically owner, co-owner, or whatever. So I was like, let me look into this Lou Taylor person. I'm thinking Lou Taylor was a guy who was a woman with a husband, whole husband. And they doing ministry and everything. Now, mind you, y'all remember the whole thing with Britney Spears? So come to find out, Lou Taylor, this gets deep, y'all, hold on. Okay, so Lou Taylor is the CEO of TriStar Sports and Entertainment. She's like a business manager icon. Now, Mike, do y'all know the Lohans? What's the Lindsay Lohan? So she apparently, allegedly, she has been behind most of these stars' conservatorship situations, especially Britney Spears. So before we talk about Britney, Mike Lohan, which is the Lohan girl, Lindsay Lohan's daddy, accused Lou Taylor and the mama Dina Lohan for trying to put Lindsay Lohan in a conservatorship concerning her money. Also, allegedly, there's a lawsuit from 2021 with Astroworld tragedy, and she's being sued for employment discrimination. This is what this Lou lady is. Now, Lou Associates maintain intense control also over Britney Spears' life and money. And she was behind even the conservatorship of why Britney Spears had that conservatorship, because she ended up becoming the business manager and took over the financial pieces of Britney Spears' whole situation.
You guys, I hope TikTok never ends because this tea is insane. Wow, nothing surprises me with the Kardashians are the comments left by fans who are putting two and two together about Kim's whole heated mess. That young woman on the video undoubtedly knew a great deal of damning facts. Kim is running out of time. She is losing business to Hulu and others. Whether she can continue to appear on TV or receive endorsements will depend on how the Diddy trials turn out. Now it's her barbershop time. The jails won't have enough room to house all these terrible people, so I believe she will go down with Diddy, and that will be that. Folks, this is absurd. Miss Kim Kardashian is certain to wind up in jail.